Hello guys, welcome to what's going to be a joint movie review between myself and Sam here, TheLuchamediageek, who, if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, please go and do so. A link will be down in the bollocks bar. So those of you who've watched my channel for a while will know that Sam and I normally do a series called Film Discussion. Sam's over this weekend and we're talking about what we want to do. We want to film, we want to get back into the habit.
Should we do the Fellini film?
Yeah, review 8.5 and have a cigar and a wank. The thing is, we were like, should we do another film discussion? And we thought, we've got a few things we want to talk about. But we're like, actually, why don't we do a review, like a pretty streamlined video, a review of a movie? Well, we're not just going to review one, we're going to review three. The films that we're going to watch, and basically we'll be coming back after each one, we're going to marathon this shit. We're going to be watching Enzo G. Castorelli. Fuck! Castorelli. We're going to be reviewing his Bronx Warriors trilogy.
Yeah. What these films are, and one of the reasons why we're looking at it is, it's shiny. It's also damn hard to get hold of that now. But basically, Mad Max is out, and Mad Max is awesome, and Jack's done a review on previously. These are the Italian knockoffs of Mad Max, essentially. Castorelli, he did the knockoff of Star Crash, which is the knockoff of Star Wars, and these are essentially his post-apocalyptic movies. They're gonna be quality.
But what we'll do, basically, we'll watch a movie, we'll come back, review it, and then we'll watch the next one, and then we'll do overall thoughts at the end. So we'll give you a quick look at this set. This is the Shameless limited edition box set.
And also there's a Blu-ray release of all three by Blue Underground later in the year.
Don't tell me that, because this is like rocking horse shit, and it took me ages to find a copy of it. And if it now becomes redundant, I will be very upset. Quite possibly there could be tears. Okay, so here we have the box set, as you can see. Well, I don't know if you can really tell on camera. It's actually a metal tin, this, released by Shameless Movies, who were sort of catching up to Arrow at one point in England, but I don't really know if they're doing much anymore. Here's the back, as you can see. It's got the three cases there. It is rated 18, Natch. It's got the list of special features. There's not an awful lot of special features other than the fact that the films are restored. It's got an interview with Enzo G. Castorelli. There's some commentary tracks, trailers, bits and pieces like that. When we open it up, you see that we've got the three regular Arame DVD cases. So we've got 1990, The Bronx Warriors. As you can see there, we've got Escape from the Bronx and The New Barbarians. Now, each of these does come with a reversible sleeve, which I would show you if I could wrestle them out of the case with one hand, but I can't, so I won't. It's actually a really nice set. I believe it went out of print. I think it might still be available. You're looking at probably about 30 quid for it on Amazon. It's definitely worth getting. As Sam mentioned, Blue Underground will be releasing all three individually on Blu-ray in the States. They're not region locked, so you can import them. Let's start with The Bronx Warriors from 1982. Finished. What did you think?
Everybody's dead, Dave.
What a weird film that was. Right, we should probably run through the plot, right? What little plot there is. It was probably scribbled on the back of a napkin.
Covered in cocaine.
Yeah.
So much coke on that napkin.
In between lines of coke in the bathroom. So you've got the character of Anne, who is the heiress to a giant
conglomerate corporation. She
runs away because she doesn't want anything to do with it and takes refuge in the Bronx, which has been declared a no man's land.
What we should do while we're going through the plot is we should say we're the DNA of every film that rips off. So that's Escape from New York.
Pretty much.
Or Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've then got, in the Bronx, you have like warring factions, gangs kind of things. That's the Warriors.
Yeah, in a complete no man's land where the police don't go near.
Yeah.
Escape from New York.
So she shacks up with the main character, Trash,
Yeah.
who is the most wooden...
Also known as Timothy or Head and Shoulders, as we started to call him.
He has... It looks like basically New York's entire supply of hairspray went on this one guy. Yeah. He's terrible. He's wooden. He cannot act out of a wet paper bag.
You know the expression "stick up his ass."
Yeah.
This guy actually acts the entire movie like he has a stick up his ass. He cannot move his spine at all.
It's really weird, isn't it? It's like even when he's riding a motorbike, he's still like completely sort of
rigid.
It's really odd. Then you've got her. So the girl's dad, who's the owner of this conglomerate, sends in a character played by Vic Morrow called Hammer to get her back, and Hammer decides while he's in the Bronx trying to find her that he's going to pit the warring gangs against each other. And
it's not a bad scheme, to be fair.
And it largely works for a lot of the film. You've then got Fred Williamson is the leader of the rival gang, and Fred Williamson is always welcome in anything because he's fucking Fred Williamson.
He wears his clothes, man.
He does.
They're very, very... I'd have to say exploitastic.
Yes.
His wardrobe.
Definitely.
So, we're not even sure it's wardrobe, it's just Fred turned up.
He was just himself on set for a while and then went home.
Pretty much.
The film... it's weird because it looks really good. Like
for what it is,
because it was probably shot, as you said, it was shot on cat food 30 years ago. It looks pretty good. The transfer on the DVD is pretty good. A lot of the action's quite good because it's one of them where it's like we were saying while we were watching it that you can tell that they're not connecting the punches and stuff, but. Every once in a while, you see like
to use the wrestling parlance, it goes a bit shoot.
You see where you're like somebody got hurt in this scene.
What we noticed was as well established exploitation stars like Fred Williamson when he's in them. The quality of the fight sequences rockets up because he's clearly blocking his own fight scenes.
He's good. He's the best thing in it.
Yeah,
and we know that he's going to be in the other two. I think he's in both the sequels.
I hope so because we were saying the main protagonist. It has almost like the Big Bang Theory Indiana Jones thing, in that the narrative could completely take place without him being there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And to be honest, it's like, spoiler alert, not that anybody gives shit about spoilers for movies like this.
No.
But he basically gets most of his own gang killed.
Yeah,
it's pretty incredible how crap a lead character he is. He's terrible.
I think we got half an hour in and we were like, when's our lead gonna stop being shit?
He's not. And it was fun to see Vic Morrow playing Hammer. Towards the end when he's wearing a full leather uniform that doesn't look unlike an SS uniform. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it was quite awesome in its own fucked up weird way.
Yeah. Now bear in mind, this is one we watched while sober.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is watch the second one. So we've just finished the Bronx Warriors 2, also known as Escape from the Bronx.
Oh no, we've started drinking.
Yeah, the Jack Daniels is out.
I'd required.
Yeah, it did sort of feel like we needed it for that one. I'll be honest. So the plot of this one basically follows. It actually follows on from the first film
really well. That's a strong point.
Yeah, I was expecting it to sort of be a standalone thing with maybe a couple of the same characters, but it actually sort of follows on from the first film, and the evil corporation from that one are trying to drive residents out of the Bronx by exterminating them so that they can build a new city. And it does feel so much like RoboCop 3. I enjoyed this one. It was a bit, it's like you pointed out, the colour palette was a lot more muted.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as cartoony as the first one.
It just wasn't as crazy, was it?
No, but it was sort of, it had a lot more ambition.
Yeah.
It was a weird sort of structure though, because like as we were watching it, you have half an hour of build up.
Yeah, it's an 85-minute movie, and I wouldn't even say half an hour. I'd say about 20 minutes up to where they kidnap the president guy, and the rest is just the last act.
Yeah,
for an hour.
You're into the third act for an hour, which is basically a gunfight and a chase through some sewers, which they clearly sort of filmed in to save money.
Yeah. And also, you won't see as much corridor repetition outside of 70s Doctor Who. They use that same stretch of sewer quite a bit.
We should have actually done the drinking game, like, whenever you see the same corridor, take a drink.
Oh God no. I don't want to go like George Freshman, I don't want that.
It was sorely lacking Fred Williamson, who was in the first one, and is in the third. It was lacking his presence and his charisma, because he is fucking brilliant. The same guy was back playing Trash, the lead, and it suffered from the same issue, that he didn't actually really do anything to advance the plot whatsoever.
And also the fact that he seemed completely immortal. We should mention the fact that, right, at the end of the last movie, all of what he's trying to do is rendered moot because everybody dies.
Yeah.
And he's quite badly burned. There's no evidence of that in this movie.
He gets hit by a flamethrower, doesn't he, at one point?
This is the first movie. There's no evidence of that in the second, although his gang's gone, isn't it?
Yeah. He's on his own. Yeah.
He blows up a helicopter with a fucking Smith & Wesson feature, which is like...
What?
No.
As for the DVD, the transfers a lot. Yeah, massive drop in quality, but I think they must have had trouble sourcing the print.
They do preface that at the start of the movie, to be fair.
So there are certain scenes where the quality drops dramatically. Some of it looks alright. It could do with a proper restoration on Blu-ray, really.
Which we're probably going to get. It's fine, it's trash cinema. I know I enjoyed it as much as the first one.
Yeah, no, I'm probably... You know, for different reasons, I like them both. They're shit. They are shit, but
like I said, the first one had more crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to now watch Warriors of the Wasteland. I think that's what it's called, or The New Barbarians is another of its titles.
I don't think this is going to be as tightly linked to continuity, and I never thought I'd be using that phrase while reviewing these movies.
I'm fairly certain that on the cover, Fred Williamson has a bow and arrow, so...
We need to roll that shit.
Yeah,
right?
Let's get on it. We'll check back with you after we've watched it.
I just saw something. I don't know what the fuck that something was, but I just saw it. Well, here's what the third film. What was it called?
It's got two names that I know of. The New Barbarians, or Warriors of the Wasteland.
New Barbarians is how it appeared on the DVD.
Yeah.
And here's what the New Barbarians had in common with the previous two. Absolutely fuck all. Nothing at all.
There was no, apart from a couple of the same actors being in that as in the other two, there was no connective tissue there whatsoever, was there? It was, apart from one shot at the beginning where you see New York being nuked.
Yeah, which is the most efficient example of storytelling I've ever seen. Literally, picture of New York and something hits it. Right, you know what happened? Can I get on with the really weird shit now?
And it's basically, from that point on, the film is a Road Warrior rip-off.
Yeah.
This came out in '83. When was the Road Warrior? You'll know now.
'82 was when it got its big release, so yeah. I mean, these Italian exploitation films, they hit the ground running, didn't they?
Yeah,
they didn't mess around.
Within sort of 12 months of the Road Warrior coming out, you had this, where basically they've just taken cars and vehicles and spray painted them silver to make them look futuristic.
Yeah, because like I said, silver equals future.
Yeah, they're just using sort of normal guns with squibs, but they make laser noises.
And make people fucking burst.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to explain it, is that when somebody gets shot in this movie, they burst and explode. It's so overly violent. It's a cartoon. I actually really like this one. I must admit, having watched the three of them back to back, I was like, at the midpoint, I was thinking, oh shit, you know. Like
we might have bitten off more than we can chew here.
Yeah, but in the last act, it got my attention.
After the rape.
Yeah, that's one thing we should touch on. Sort of, it's a brightly coloured cartoon, ultra-violent, all that.
With Fred Williamson with a bow and arrow.
With Fred Williamson with a bow and arrow. And then at the halfway point, there's like a brutal male rape scene.
Yeah.
Gang rape. set to like sort of disco lights and shit like that. It was like, what are we watching?
Soundtrack.
Did I sit on the remote and something else was come on?
Here's the thing. In the middle of the second act, there's the villains capture the good guys, because all modus operandi of the villains is we want to destroy life, and they just get the hero and sodomise him, essentially. Yeah. But there's no context, it just happens.
Yeah, it just sort of happens out of the blue. It's very, very strange and quite uncomfortable to watch. But overall, like, having now watched the trilogy, neither of us had seen it before.
No.
Having now watched the trilogy, how do you feel about it? Would you watch it again? Would you recommend it?
Right.
And to who?
Right. Here's the thing. I'm well aware that we watched them all back to back, so I may have suffered from fatigue. However, I did enjoy the first one the most. So I probably wouldn't get the box set like what you've got, but I probably would get the Blue Underground Blu-ray release of the first one. Yeah. And that'd do me. That'd do me.
Yeah.
If you like trash movies, you're gonna like it. I'd say the second one's by far the weakest.
Yeah,
of
and
the three.
Oddly enough, has the most action out of the three.
But it's just so drab to look at.
Yeah, true. But it is. I mean, I've been entertained throughout all three of them. I probably wouldn't recommend watching them all back to back because it does become a little bit of a slog. But they are fun. You know, the bullshit, but the fun bullshit.
The party movies, essentially.
Yeah, because I mean, we sat and sort of talked through them, and
we made our own riff track, essentially.
Yeah,
all the way through.
But yeah, no, it was. They were fun movies.
Tough to get hold of now, though. Mind you, the Blu-ray releases won't be.
Yeah, well, the Blu-ray releases are going to be Region A only, aren't they? Blue Underground.
No. Blue Underground stuff tends not to be region locked.
No, I mean, like, it's not getting a UK release. It's just been released in the States.
In the US, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I have the box set, the Shameless box set, the DVDs. I sort of have no desire to upgrade.
No.
You know, they're perfectly serviceable. I would probably watch those movies again. Like you say, the party movies, if you have a load of friends around,
totally.
Something trashy, you'll chuck them on. So what I would like you guys to do is let us know what you thought of this sort of long-form review.
Yeah.
You know, like a
mini marathon.
Trash marathon kind of thing, yeah. And we'll, you know, tell us whether you've liked it, whether you'd like to see more, what movies you would like to see us watch.
I'd happily do that again.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe to Sam, and we'll see you in the next video.